What is happening, sports fans? It's your main man, Matt, from the DFS 5-pack. I am rocking it solo. It is Wednesday, December 8th. We got a big NBA slate tonight to talk over, 13 games. I just made the members-only video, so I picked out 5 guys I wanted to touch on. Excited to break that down for you guys. Before I do that, I want to shout out Jazz Sports and Loose Lines, my promoters right now, and I really like what they got going on. So I'm sure you've heard it before, but I'm going to keep mentioning it because it behooves everyone who hasn't to sign up for this stuff. So first off, starting with Jazz Sports, if you sign up, you get a no-risk wager up to $1,000 on your first bet. That's $1K back if your first wager is graded a loss. You really can't beat that. And as far as Loose Lines goes, for those who aren't familiar with Loose Lines, it's a site with really good lines and odds, reduced juice, and a bunch of other perks over there. You also get an additional 50% off your first deposit there. So again, the links are going to be in the description section of the video. I would appreciate anyone and everyone would check that out. And if you have any questions about it, don't hesitate to get at me because I would love to talk over this stuff with you guys. And as I've been mentioning, I'm going to have some sports betting content coming out sooner rather than later this week for sure, probably tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. Excited to get into that. As I said, though, we got 13 NBA games to talk over, so only 5 guys. So as I mentioned before, there's going to be a ton of plays on this slate, a ton of guys to like. You really just got to be very picky and choosy on this slate. There's going to be a ton of guys you like that you're not going to be able to play. On the flip side of that, a lot of the guys that you will play will be lower owned than you might expect them to be just because there's so many other guys in play on this slate. So starting off, I think the guy you just lock in all formats is going to be Tyler Hero. Priced down to $7K. He's priced for Bam and Butler to be in, and those guys are out. He's the top offensive weapon on Miami right now. I would say him a little bit over Kyle Lowry, even though they're right on par with each other. Hero has been more solid and spectacular the past few games, but he played really, really well in Milwaukee the other game. They just got rolled, so he lost run. Shot 4 of 17 and still got to close to 40 DK points. Imagine what happens if he shoots well and the game's competitive. I give Miami credit to keep this game close at home. Obviously a tough skid for them right now. Lost 4 of 5, lost their last 2 pretty handedly. But I think Miami gets up for this spot. And at this price point, Hero just has one of the better floor-ceiling combinations on the entire slate. Next up, another guy I think we just lock in everywhere. That's going to be my boy Ayo Dosunmu from the Chicago Bulls. Previously played at Illinois, was awesome in college. I really liked him coming out of Illinois, and now he's finally getting his chance to play big minutes with not only Alex Caruso and Kobe White out, you got DeMar DeRozan out, you got Javonte Green out. They're just lacking bodies, and Dosunmu's been productive for them. He was awful in the first half last game. I think he had 5 DK points in the first half. Clearly had a really, really good second half. I like him to carry that over into tonight. Still very, very cheap at $3,900. If I'm making one lineup right now for tonight, I'm playing Dosunmu in all formats. Next up, another guy I think you just play and move on. That's going to be Norman Powell. Tough spot for the Blazers. They're also skidding. They've lost 5 in a row at least. Yeah, they've lost 5 in a row. They beat Denver in the game before that. But with no Lillard, no McCollum, Simon's questionable, Powell, along with Nurkic, is their main offensive weapon right now. The great thing about Powell is that he's small forward eligible. He plays a ton of minutes. He played 44 minutes last game. I expect we see more of the same tonight. He wasn't amazing last game, but he shot 24 times, managed to pick up 5 rebounds. You assume that if he plays 44 minutes, he'll be able to get more than 1 assist, block, and steal combined. He's got big upside at this price. I mean, real 10x upside at 4,800. I expect him to cruise into 30, making him just a rock solid look in all formats. Or moving on down to more of a long shot, a guy I like a lot in tournaments at 3K. So we've heard rumors from Indy lately that they're, willing to part ways with LeVert, Sabonis, potentially. Miles Turner's been on the trade block for what seems like years. And with Indiana almost in rebuild mode, they're not having a great year. O'Shea Brissett looks like a guy that's starting to get more run for them. 18, 21, and 29 minutes the last 3 games. Hasn't been crazy productive in that time, but coming off his best game of the year where he put up 20, 60K points in a tough spot in a win against Washington at 3K, I like his upside here. Now, I mentioned this on the members only video. This is not the slate where you're saying, okay, if he gets me 15, I'm happy with it. 5X is fine. 5X is fine, and he's probably not going to kill you, but with so many good plays on this slate, you really want 20 plus here. And I think he's in a good opportunity to give it to you if he plays 29 plus minutes again. Even if he plays 25 plus minutes at 3K, I think he's worth the gamble. All right, last but not least, probably my favorite play on the entire slate. That's going to be Cole Anthony. So I liked Cole last time out. Once CJ McCollum got ruled out, I pivoted to him, and that was a mistake. He was awful. Probably the worst game of his career, definitely the worst game of his season. Put up not even 10 DK points. I love him in a bounce back spot here. This game should be really competitive and high scoring. You got two pretty bad teams in Orlando and Sacramento. Both teams here thinking they can get this dub. Cole Anthony's probably the best player in this whole game. Definitely the best piece of Orlando. Price down to 7,600. Giddy up. I like Cole Anthony a lot. Probably like him more in tournaments, but if I'm making one lineup and I'm playing it everywhere, he's in it right now. That's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Again, as I mentioned, it's a huge slate tonight. If you want that members-only info, go check out the DFS 5-pack. Would love to have you sign up. If you have any more questions, comments, anything, I'm around. Would love to hear from you guys. And yeah, click that thumbs up button on the video. I appreciate you guys as always. Have a great rest of your Wednesday.